So it seems like in the last year or two, time's been speeding up, or at least from a lot of people I've been speaking to and a lot of videos I've been hearing online, and also from my own experience, it just feels like there's never enough time in the day. It feels like you're always chasing time. You wake up and then before you know it, it's lunchtime, and then you might do a little bit of work, and then before you know it, it's dinner time, and then now you're starting to wind down for the day, and suddenly a whole day has gone by again, and what did you really do? I mean, it's kind of hard to get a grip on things if time constantly feels like it's slipping away. So I will tell you how to, avoid this, and I'll also tell you why it's happening. One of the first and most obvious things you can do is to start waking up earlier. Not super early like 4 or 5 a.m., but maybe 6, 7 a.m. if you're not already. This will give you more time in the day, and the earlier you wake up before 8 o'clock, I find, the more you seem to have a grip on time. Like if you wake up after 8 o'clock or, after 9, the hours, it doesn't feel the same. Although you're relatively still awake for the same amount of time, I find that if you wake up before 8 o'clock in the morning, all of the other hours feel like they last longer. Can't explain it. It's just subjectively, it's one of those weird things. I don't know how it works. So you can start waking up earlier. That's one obvious thing. The next thing to realize is that in the last kind of year or two, 2021, 2020, there have been a lot of restrictions placed on us, and as humans, we're not designed to be restricted and confined to a little box like a prisoner. We're not designed to do that, so of course that's had a negative impact on mental health and physical health and so on. Another side effect of that is that we've lost the kind of breaks in our routine that would normally make a day feel longer. And this goes right back to when you were a kid, right? When I was a kid, I remember the summer holidays seemed to last forever. Because every single day, firstly, I wasn't really using my phone. I don't think I even had a phone at that point. I was actually going out every day into the world, into nature, climbing trees, exploring things. And then maybe I came back home and, my dad would take us to a campsite or swimming or whatever it is. My point is we would do new activities, physical things every day outside. And there'll be very little time spent on gaming consoles, laptops, phones, inside the house. The main things we would do were go outside into nature and have adventures, right? Do exciting things outside. And so that's why time seemed to feel like it was almost standing still. The summer holidays literally felt like years, even though they were only, I can't remember what it was now, 4 or 5 weeks, maybe less. And what happens is over time, when we get into a routine, we get a job or whatever, suddenly these adventures that we were having as kids, we don't do them as much, and instead we wind down and spend our free time after work time, our free time, watching TV or sitting on your laptop playing a game on Facebook or whatever. And those things, you won't remember those things. In 10 years' time, you won't remember the movies you watched or the games you played online, unless it's a really memorable movie. What you'll remember on your deathbed and in 10, 20, 30 years' time are the adventures you had, usually outside, usually with other people. So those are the things that are important, really. And when you do those things, even if you do 1 or 2 of those things in a day, suddenly that day feels like a lot longer than a day. It's almost like you've slowed down the time, even though you're spending the same amount of time being awake. What you do in that time makes a huge difference to how long it feels like the time is. So my point is, if you feel like time's slipping away, think about your routine. Like in an average day, what do you do? If you do the same things every single day, especially if you're now working from home, right, which it has its own challenges. In an average day, what do you do? Like, do you wake up, do some work, have lunch, do some work, and then have dinner and watch TV? Because if you do, that's why time is slipping away, because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to have adventures and do things, even really simple things like going for a walk outside, going to the park, walking in a forest, or going and socializing with a few friends on the beach, let's say. These things are really important. And when you do those things, firstly, you'll create memories and have experiences that are actually meaningful and that you'll remember in 50 years' time. And secondly, you'll have much more of a grip on time because you're not just doing the same mundane things in your house, on your laptop, or on your phone, or for work. So that's the most obvious thing. Another thing you can do is to start working towards being in a position where you don't have to spend your time working. This is really important, and I've made several videos about this on this channel at least. But when you're trading your hours for money, firstly, you'll never be able to rack up a huge amount of money. And secondly, you'll never seem to have enough time because you're constantly trading it for money, which you need to pay the bills. And when you're in that situation, it can feel like there's no way out. It feels like you have to do that. You have to keep working to to pay the bills, right? But you actually don't have to do that. That's just an idea, a story that you've told yourself. There are so many ways of making money, and in 2021, certainly, working set hours or trading hours for money is one of the worst ways of making money, because you'll never have enough. And you probably realize this for yourself, if you really think about it. There are so many ways of making money. Like, let's say, instead of trading your time for money, you create a video course, you film it over a weekend, let's say, create a video course and sell it to people online for $1,000. Well, you only need to sell 1 or 2 a month to have enough money to live. And to sell those 2 courses, once you've set up the system and the website, you don't actually need to spend any time doing that. It happens on its own. It happens passively. It happens as people find your content. Like how you found this video, for example. I didn't have to message you and convince you to watch this video. I'm probably sleeping right now. I'm probably on the beach or, socializing or whatever. I'm not having to convince you to watch this video in the same way that people are probably coming to my websites right now, buying my ebooks, buying my courses. It happens on its own. I'm not trading my hours for money, I'm trading my value for money. And there's a huge difference, which people don't really talk about. Anyway, that's for another video. Another thing you can do is you can watch my free video training on how to raise your vibrations and frequency. This will help you to get more of a grip on time and how to increase your energy and upgrade your body and mind. It makes a huge difference, especially if you've never done this stuff before. And beyond that, I'd love to hear what you think about time. Like, do you think it's running out or speeding up? Leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll see you next time.